Hey guys, Gabriel here, and today we're going to be talking about trim sizes and what that means to you as a self-published author. So if you're an author and are about to format your book, then this video is for you because you need to figure out what size of book that you want to create, whether it's paperback or hardback. You need to know how to choose the right trim size. So this video will give you all the context needed to make those decisions and also give you a bit of background as to what is a trim size and how to best find one based on industry standards. So let's dive into this video and get started. Trim sizes, trim size options for your book. What are trim sizes? First of all, trim sizes are basically the physical printed book size, what you see when you get it in physical medium copy. And when you choose a trim size, it's really important to consider the following 4 points. Number one, how compatible is this trim size across different platforms? For example, some platforms may support certain trim sizes while others may not. Amazon KDP may support a specific trim size while Ingram Spark may not. So you need to check that it is common enough so that the self-publishing platform that you're going to be self-publishing on supports that trim size across the board. Otherwise, you may have to create different formatted versions for each platform. Number two is how thick will the spine be? And this really comes down to the page count. If you have a small number of words, like if you have like less than 20,000 words, then you might opt for a smaller trim size so that the spine is thicker, there's more pages, and it feels more like a book. The other downside to that is the printing cost may increase because there's more pages. So that's the third point, is how much will it be to print that? So you need to consider both how many words your book has, then what trim size, how many pages that will be, and then how much that will cost. And number four, this is more of a practical point for your readers. How easy is it to carry around your book? If it's a small trim size, it'd be something that they could even fit in their pocket. If it's a bit larger, it may be a bit awkward to carry around or heavier to carry around. Also considering maybe bookshelf sizes. If it's too big, it may not fit in standard bookshelves. If it's too small, it may look a bit awkward. So those are some of the things. There'll be some additional things to consider that you'll learn later in this video, so just stay posted. So what's next? Here are some trim sizes that are very common across the industry. So firstly, there's a mass market paperback, or also called pocketbook, and they measure 4.25 by 6.87 inches. Next is the trade paperbacks, and there's two types of trade paperbacks. First one is called a digest at 5.5 by 8.5 inches, and the second one is a US trade size, which is 6 by 9. So generally speaking, a lot of authors like it slightly smaller, so they go with the digest size. Otherwise, go with the 6 by 9, which is slightly larger. And number three is hardcover. So hardcover generally varies in size between 6 by 9 and 8.5 by 11. So it really depends on the author preference of what you prefer. So those are common trim sizes. There are a lot others available on different platforms, but these are the ones that are more standard across the industry. So let's learn about some of the trim sizes that are specific to different types of books. Whereas, some books tend to choose trim sizes that are a specific size. For example, fiction books range between 4.25 by 6.87 all the way to 6 by 9 inches. So that's common among fiction books. If you're writing a novella, typically they're 5 by 8 inches. For children's books, ranges between a square 7.5 by 7.5 inches, 7 by 10, or 10 by 8. Textbooks range between 6 by 9, 7 by 10, and 8.5 by 11. Non-fiction books tend to vary between 5.5 by 8.5, 6 by 9, and also 7 by 10 inches. If you're writing a memoir, then a 5.25 by 8 or a 5.5 by 8.5 are common sizes. And if you're producing a photography book, then the size pretty much varies depending on how you want it laid out. There are some pretty big photography books out there that range from ultra wide to portrait mode to square, so it's pretty much custom. So those are the trim sizes by book type. Now let's look at it visually on here because it's easier to see the different variations of sizes among these types of books. So you can see fiction, there's basically 5 different sizes there. Novella generally just has 1 size. Memoir has 2 sizes. And you see nonfiction has 3, textbooks have 3, and also children's have 3 different sizes. So how do you choose your trim size? Well, there's 3 main things to consider. The less the word count, generally the smaller the trim size in order to increase the number of pages so that it has a decent enough spine width so you can at least, feel it as if it's a book. It's not like a booklet. And also, once it's a certain size of spine, you can basically legibly put some text there. Otherwise, if it's too small, then a lot of self-publishing platforms like KDP don't actually allow you to put any text on the spine. So consider that if you have a lower word count, try to choose smaller trim sizes. Whereas if you have a larger word count, then you can increase the trim size if you'd like. So play around with that and get a good middle ground. I would recommend looking at the main standard trim sizes first and playing with those. And if none of those work, or if you have a specific preference, then obviously try some of the other ones. The next one is tailor to genre standards, which means like if you're writing a memoir book, then generally it would be good to pick a trim size that are standard to memoirs. Or if you're writing a nonfiction, then generally choose a trim size that is specific to nonfiction. It just makes it more accessible and standard when you publish it. And then finally, calculate printing costs. Like I said, there's calculators to calculate your printing costs. I'll include some below to the KDP calculator, print cost calculator, and the Ingram Spark print cost calculator. So just check the link below in the description and we'll go from there. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and share. Also, I do have a link, and there will be a link in the bottom to my free video course called Self-Publishing Success Secrets. And that basically gives you everything you need to know about self-publishing. So make sure you register for that. If the link is not there at the time of this video, it means it's coming soon, so just stay tuned. If you have any questions about trim sizes, make sure you put that in the comments below and I'll answer that as soon as I can. And also any other videos and tutorials about self-publishing, I'll be putting links in the description from here so you can check them out as well. And yeah, don't feel shy in terms of leaving questions about other self-publishing questions that you have. I'm more than happy to answer and we'll go from there. So wishing you a fantastic day and good luck with your self-publishing efforts. Take care.